Welcome to the Coombe & Curry Sports Cards Podcast, where collecting meets the game. Your hosts, the Tag Team Champions. Before we get into today's show, Coombe & Curry Sports Cards would like to thank our sponsors, Kiwi Card Collective. Without KCC, we wouldn't be here today. We appreciate your continued support. Head over to KCC Facebook page. They've got tons of weekly breaks, NFL, NBA, WWE, and much more. Now sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Cool, so Coombe & Curry Sports Card Podcast back with an all New Zealand lineup tonight. So we got Nick, I think it's your fourth appearance on the show?
Yeah, I think it's third or fourth go.
Yeah. I think you're possibly up there with the most appearances. So we've got Nick from KCC. We've got Brock. Are we going with the Card Syndicate, Brock?
Yep.
And Nash is ripping packs for those on Instagram. And we've got HR, Hamish, with Hits and Rips joining us as well.
G'day.
Good evening, gents.
How's it going?
Yeah. This is a special episode. It's a weekend bonus, I think, because we've got the sports card show coming up in Poddy River next week, and I'm not going to beat her up the bush. We are going to dominate the show. We've got almost an entire wall. Nice collaboration here, which I'm really looking forward to. From my point of view, first show, and it's nice to be surrounded with some experience. And as we've put on the post, some good inventory. So yeah, looking forward to it. But Nick, if you don't mind, we'll start with you. You've recently done the Hamilton card show, so let us know how that went.
Yeah, so we had card market here in Hamilton. What was it last Saturday? And it was the first big show for Hamilton. So the first formal organised show. Just over 2,000 people or tickets sold pre the event. Massive queues outside waiting for it to kick off. Yeah, it was just awesome. Like card market ran a really smooth event. Loads of people turned up. From a sales perspective, best show I've ever done by a long shot. But yeah, just awesome to see the card community really pumping here in Hamilton. Was a bit of a concern for me. Investing and going to the show, having seen or understanding where my market is. But yeah, it was great. Got to meet a whole lot of new people, and another Broncos fan here in Hamilton. So at some stage I'll be able to catch up with Lani and actually get rid of some of my older cards that aren't sticking around the PC.
It makes two of you now in New Zealand.
Yeah. I think that's across the country. Good to have them both in Hamilton. So.
From a Kiwi Card Collective point of view, though, it's probably you get around these shows and that it's got to be quite good, isn't it, to put faces to names and start, like meeting the people that are joining the breaks and part of the community.
Yeah, I came away from really energized. I think I've spoken before about not actually seeing people and talking to a screen all the time. So getting out and being in the community, meeting the punters, meeting their kids, getting new kids into NFL. It's been I found really interesting was a new Pokemon was going to dominate, but so many kids just didn't know what NFL was. So for me, it wasn't just growing the card community, but also growing the NFL community in New Zealand.
It's funny you say that, actually, because I was chatting to a mate last night who's a massive NFL fan, and he'd come up with me because I'd gone up to referee in Palmy, and he decided he wanted to come along for the ride. So we was having a good chat, and he said we were talking about like when we were kids and that, because he was saying that he didn't know that sports cards was even a thing till recently. And I said it's funny because it's the same for me. Like growing up, we did the sticker books, and obviously like we was into football, or soccer as the Americans call it, and we always did like the Merlin sticker albums. And I think I've said this recently. Like I said quite a lot that my first card was that Tyler Lockett card in Seattle, but the reason I think I got into it was probably that King of Collectibles. watching that because I still can't work out what made me want to get a sports card. But from the point I did, there was no turning back.
Yeah, so got you hooked in. The I think just kind of reflecting back on that show a bit as well. For for KCC, just awesome to have the brand out there. We also had a couple other sports pages there. So Blunt were there as well, and not just catching up with the punters, but also everyone else that's kind of part of growing sports cards in New Zealand. Uh, Unfortunately, missed the beers on the Saturday night. I had to go and take the girls home and get them sort of fed and spend a bit of time with family. But hopefully next weekend in Wellington, we get to enjoy the social side of it as well.
Yeah, nice. I'm looking forward to it. Just is that your first show, Nick, or you done shows before?
I've done a few shows.
Yeah,
So the first one that's had that much marketing put behind it.
yeah,
So specifically organised card show events, like was the same people that do the Auckland card show. Yeah, the ones I've done in the past have really kind of just been meetups,
yeah,
or more meetups than shows, and and very just very NBA focused. Where this was well promoted. TCG, NBA, baseball. There's a bit of soccer there as well. So a real good mix of people and product.
yeah. I've got to say, I did the night market at Top Play, and I think like for me, obviously, with the sort of going into the show with being the first show, I'm so pleased I did that because, like you say, you've done shows there before, but I found that even when I had a couple of people at the table in that sort of first half an hour, I felt kind of a bit overwhelmed. There's quite a bit going on, and it was quite a nice opportunity, like on a smaller scale, just to like even trial the setup and stuff like that, and like observe and see what I could change. I'm so glad I did it. Sort of leading into what we're doing next week.
Yeah, I think definitely helps to get one or two under your belt. But I when I sat back, because we were towards the back of the event, towards the back of the building, and watching the masses at the front, and the flood of people that were hitting, especially the TCG tables.
Yeah,
I was a little bit worried about where we were positioned, but also quite happy, just to kind of watch the chaos come towards me, and for Kristen and Lily that were there helping out. I think probably would have been quite overwhelming if we had been in those first few tables. Uh, but people made it through. They made it through to us, and yeah, it was a really good day.
will that event continue to be in Hamilton, or is that something that will move around, or are they planning to do that yearly?
So they're in Dunedin, I think, in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah,
Card
nice.
Market Dunedin, and they've also got the next big one after that's Auckland Card Show. But they have been running the Card Market as a bit of a series around the place.
Yeah,
It is a little bit trial and error, so seeing where the people are. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, the feedback that they gave for us as vendors was it's coming back and it's going to be bigger and better.
yeah. It seems to be like I say, like again from my point of view, not been I've been in New Zealand now for nearly 3 years, and obviously only collecting into the second year. But like the amount of shows and people that are sort of wanting to get into it just seems to be massively on the up. Um, and I think
Yeah,
that. Sorry, go on, Nick. Yeah.
I was to say you're also starting to see some of the big sort of Australian events come into New Zealand as well. So
Mm,
I think Collect Fest is it?
that's it. Yeah.
Is talking about landing here soon. So just the more it grows, the bigger the events will get, and the more fun we'll be having.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And there's the get the name right, the New Zealand Card and Collectibles show as well, which is quite small. New Zealand, Wellington based. It's a
Uh,
fairly small event, but that from the show they did previously to the last one, you could already see the growth. And I think again next year, I was speaking to Scott, who runs it. He's going to have a separate sports card hall. So their show's been kind of more geared towards like the TCG side of it, with quite little offer for sports cards. But yeah, he's gonna have a separate show, and he's targeting vendors in the sort of sports card arena to sort of help grow his show as well. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. Gonna have to join the Choro Club,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think.
But I think that's as me and Mark usually say, it's a good segue into the New Zealand card show, 14th of June, and just to explain like what we're doing, I guess as a collective. So obviously got yourself, Nick, and then me, Hamish, and Brock, and yeah, I'm so excited. I'm excited to be doing it with like you guys, fellow collectors, trying to grow the hobby and that. But we've got 3 tables between us. It's going to be one hell of a weekend. Yeah, looking forward to it. So, Brock, what's your thoughts on the weekend?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be my first show, so it's been a hell of an expense trying to gear up for the show. It'll be nice to see something back, but it's not really about that for me. It's kind of about getting out of the community really and meeting some of the people that you talk to all the time. Obviously, got my young fella with me as well. He's right in there. Loves sports cards and sports in general, so he's going to be being a bit of a pest around the place. So, really looking forward to it though. It should be good.
Yeah, I think between everyone, like I think we've put it in the sort of like the marketing stuff. We've got a hell of an offering as well, and I think I found this at the night market is that Nick, you were saying about like NBA and stuff like that, but when people came in, it was so busy. But I feel like the NFL side of it is maybe a little bit behind, say the NBA and things like that. And I think what we're offering in that is, it's a, what's the word? It's a collective, but it's a good inventory. It's Nick, you're bringing a lot of sealed product as well as your singles, a little bit of Pokemon, and then across our tables we'll have a lot of singles. So I'm looking forward to it, and it's again for me starting off with the Kiwi Card Collective and looking at the people in the community. It's going to be so good to meet people that you've actually had a lot of dealings with and not met face to face. Brock and Hamish, it's the same for you guys. Like we chat almost daily, but we've not met in person. So I think there's going to be so much like putting names to faces and just meeting people, which I think is going to be good. And even the reason we do the podcast is it's contributing to the community, and hopefully we can take it forward. Hamish, looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, it'll be good to get up there. A bit like what Brock said, it's my first show I've ever been to, but obviously the first show I've been vending at as well. So
Yeah,
really jumping right on the deep end there. But put a bit of effort into sort of gathering up a bit more on top of what I have here already, and just trying to help grow things more than anything else.
what
Yeah,
Hamish,
I think
what have you
last
found like
last
in the planning? Because we've had conversations around. I said about when I was at the card market, I kind of started laying my stuff out, and I started debating whether I priced it too high, and then I had that interaction with that kid where he kind of referred to my table as the cheap table, which made me laugh. And I think I know we've chatted a lot about the planning, but what sort of like the things you found or sort of question sort of leading up to it? Because like I know Nick, you said you've done some shows, but for us it's brand new, so there's been a lot of things that we've talked about, considered, changed our minds on, and that type of thing.
I think for me, it's about having a bit of variety, or I sort of try to have a bit of variety, bit of spread and sort of value. Not everyone wants the big money card, so it's trying to cater for everyone and have a bit of a nice auto here or sort of an SSP, and just spread it around.
Yourself, Brock?
Yeah, sort of probably not as many high end stuff, but tried to get to a value that I feel is achievable for more people. So, cards that people really love. that's just not accessible in New Zealand, or people don't know of them. So I tried to gather up as many of those as I can, and the ones that people want, like really nice case hits or a few autos. I mean, I do have a couple of higher end cards, but when I was pricing it yesterday, I was like, there's definitely a theme there for my cards, and then obviously you got your kind of dollar box that's kind of loaded as well. So then
Oh,
Rhino's got his kids packs, which is like I was making those up probably 4 weeks ago, and thinking these shouldn't be in here. These should be in the box being sold because they're pretty awesome, eh? But no, that's what he wanted to do. So he wanted to give back all the cards that he kind of had that he no longer had in his PC. He wanted to give back to some kid who'd be like, "Whoa, I got a Victor Wembanyama, or I got a Steph Curry, or a Messi, or something like that." So there's some pretty cool cards in there.
yeah. I'll have to grab a few
Awesome.
packs myself.
Yeah. BC's going to buy all of them.
Kids packs,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah. I was looking at mine the other day, and I was just sort of had this like, I was quite happy. I know we've chatted about it quite a lot, but I was quite happy with like what I've got on that, and I kind of realised there's a lot of Seahawks in there, so I'm a bit stuffed if I don't have any Seahawks fans. I've got a few other bits. I've got lower end stuff to spread out across but most of my kind of like, let's say slabs and one touches is a lot of Seahawks. So yeah, any Seahawks fans listening, get yourself down there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Mine leans a little bit towards my PC as well. So there's always plenty of sort of a bit Bronco dominated, but there's, I think kind of what I've learned from the shows that I've done is just having that everything from 3 cards for $2.
Yeah.
And just in sleeves, and right the way through to the other end at the sort of $1,500 mark, and really just a good variety of price, a little bit of mix. Like when I was at the show last year, so it was my first time last year going to the New Zealand card show, and came down just as a punter instead of a vendor, sit down, catching up with people, having a look around. And there's literally one table with the NFL, yeah. So I think what we're doing, and the volume that we're bringing along, is going to be a nice change for those collectors that want to get in and grab some football cards. But yeah, there'll still be a little bit of NBA sealed, a few Pokemon. I got a bit rip happy this afternoon, so there's a few new singles for the table today.
Nice.
It's funny because you mentioned last year we went down to the trade night the night before, and I remember messaging you, Nick, and you ended up having to send a picture of yourself to me because I was like, hold on a minute, I've only ever seen the guy's hands, like. But yeah, like, it's interesting as well. Another thing I picked up at the card market at Top Play was actually there's a few people that were quite nervous. And I kind of think about this about when I went to the show. Maybe you guys, maybe you think it's weird, maybe it resonates a little bit, but I remember going into the show being a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. There was a lot of people and stuff like that. And I think one thing from our point of view and wanting to do more shows and stuff like that is, and what's really cool about having the tables together is not only you expecting people to come and look through the boxes, but we've put it on the marketing stuff, having a chat, meeting people and stuff like that. And I think hopefully that will make people feel relaxed and stuff like that. And then they can start feeling comfortable to trade, ask questions, spend a bit more time at the tables as well, looking through what we got.
Yeah, definitely will kind of add to it. I think it is tough when you're standing at a table by yourself, and you've got sort of no one around you. At last weekend, having the girls there made it a whole lot easier. Meant you could actually go and have a look around the show as well and sit down and talk to people while there's someone else to look after the table. So yeah, being there as a collective is going to be awesome. Can't wait. Tonight's the first time seeing HR outside of his Facebook profile as well. So the first animated view of him. But yeah, looking forward to catching up, having beers, and not just the four of us, but also with everyone else that's out there that supports KCC that's going to be around.
And the other, I think the other thing is as well, like us, working together, having tables together as well. I think it kind of brings out a little bit in because I found that at the car market, at times you feel a little bit isolated, and I usually don't have a problem talking with people. I generally talk to anyone else, but when it goes a bit quiet and you got a load of people around your table, sometimes generating conversation can be quite hard. And I think having everyone around should help us as well generate better conversations around what we're doing. So quite looking forward to that side of it.
Creates a bit more of an atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And
Big trades between us.
that's it. That first hour we could obliterate the stock.
I mean, when I pull out some of my cards, Nick's probably just going to want to get me to put those aside for him.
We won't mention the case hit hunt that's going to be happening on the day as well. It might just be the four of us ripping through those cases.
Yeah.
There might not be much left come 10 o'clock.
Not if Rhino has anything to go by, man. He'll be right in there.
And there's rumours, isn't there, of the Hurricanes semi-final the night before. That's
Yes, yeah. There's but I'm a Jinx, yeah. So I think you mentioned in the chat, I've not been to a Hurricanes game that they've won. So and the trade night has me a little bit unsure about what to do, but should be a big night in Wellington.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be good, and I think I'll probably spend, as prepared as I think I am. I reckon I'll spend most of the week sort of tinkering with the stock and just trying to pick up a few more last editions and that. But I think between us, like, we've got NFL covered. Nick, you've got a bit of Pokemon as well.
Yeah, a few singles, no sealed stuff. But yeah, the sealed all going well with FedEx. There'll be a little bit of NBA sealed. The latest release, NFL, so signature series, is it? Is part of that shipment as well. So hoping to get a break or two up this week of the hobby, but I'll have some retail product for the show.
Nice. I've got while I've got you all here, I've got a confession to make. It's not good. I'm going to have some Lacana available on the day.
I'm so ignorant, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is either.
Yeah, it's my little girl.
Oh, damn, I know what it is. Damn it.
Yeah. The little ones put together some, like, what do you call them? What mystery pack type things. So we're selling them for $1. I think she was going to, for half an hour at some stage, she was going to come along and join us. So I'll let her sell her Lacana on the side.
Nice.
You never know. There's some, there might be some Lacana fans out there. Come and get a nice NFL single and pick up a couple of Lacana mystery packs. Happy days. But we've got, I think we're across all sports, aren't we? So we've got a bit of NBA, Brock. Some nice singles.
Nah, I've got some baseball and some Rhino's got some football or soccer stuff. He's got a few case hits and a nice Lewandowski auto, so should be good.
I've been going through my PC as well, and I've got a couple of nice Mo Salah cards to chuck out in the display as well. So,
nice.
Yeah, quite looking forward to that. Gents, I want to move on to a subject that I think every man and his dog's been talking about recently, and get your views on. We've had some kind of off podcast chats about PSA and what's going on. I think it's not just that. I think I've been looking forward to getting all your views as well, because we've had loads of chats. We've chatted about on the podcast about grading full stop and different companies. And I think our unique perspective from the fact that we're novices, MC and I, it's like educating us, because I like, as you boys know, I like the PCG slabs. So for me, I don't generally collect to sell, which is a weird thing to say considering I'm just about to be a vendor at a card show. But I, like with the PCG slabs, I absolutely love them. But what's got me, I know I'm sort of amalgamating two topics here, but the first thing I wanted to speak about is what I can't get my head round is that you've got PSA is obviously synonymous with being the top company, the top grader and stuff like that. But I believe, is that something that's been created by the hobby because they've used them? Because if you compare them, let's say, to PCG, essentially you're using the same techniques, you're using the same equipment and stuff like that, and the same, I guess, people are grading. They're not using them using AIs. They're doing them by hand. So what really is the difference? And is it really just that PSA is the name? If that makes sense. Nick, start with you on that one.
I think PSA is the most recognised brand, but if you go back a few years, it wasn't always PSA that were there. So there's plenty of grading companies, but PSA is, I guess, where people grading and it's returning value. Yeah, so if it returns value relatively quickly, and it's where it's just continued to grow. If I kind of think back, geez, I was at a Gary V event, and he was probably one of the big people behind pushing PSA and pushing it along, and bringing that entrepreneurial look to, I guess, 2 cards. That's well before COVID as well. But a PSA 10 versus a black label. I guess a black label 10 a black label 10 still outsells, or value-wise, a PSA 10, but they're just harder to get. And to me, it kind of feels like people realised they couldn't get a black label 10, but they could get a PSA 10. Therefore, it went there. But and in the US, I mean, for us here in New Zealand, when you're paying $60, $70 a card to be graded with shipping, you kind of think twice about what you're going to get in your return. Yeah. But in the States, a $5 card, if you can turn a $5 card into a $50 card with a $25 grading fee, there's still margin in that. Yeah. So and it's just it's just a business, and look, they've kind of taken over the market with their acquisitions, and I just don't think they were prepared for the wave of TCG that was coming their way. If you look at the numbers for sports cards, they're only a small part of what actually hits that office. It's 2-3 times higher worth of TCG coming in each month, and they just don't physically have the bums on the seats to get things graded.
That's before we move into that side of it, I guess from that obviously is the next topic is what's happening at the minute and the pause of PSA. But from educating me, my point of view, am I right in thinking though, essentially, that PSA has been built up to be the market leader? That's the one that people want to go. So I'm not denying that there's the resale value and people want the PSA slabs, but is that because it's PSA? Is there an opportunity? Is there a window now for Tag to step up? I know they're having issues as well, aren't they, getting through some of their submissions? But is there a space?
Pause too.
Yeah. Is there a space for someone else to step up? Because what I can't get my head around is, and I know in the grand scheme of things, I'm talking about PCG, and that's not. PCG are never even mentioned in the conversations because they're a smaller company. But essentially, what is the difference in the actual? If we take away the name for a minute, is there a difference in the grading process? So, if PCG are grading a card a 10 and PSA are grading it a 10, because I hear so many stories about. We all hear stories about things that have happened at PSA and stuff like that, but I kind of want to get to the raw grading side of it. What's the difference? What do we get from PSA that we might not get from PCG or Tag or I know SGC is owned by PSA now, but
I think it's just return on investment, to be honest.
Yeah, like if it's humans sitting down grading cards, then it's, in theory, it's the same. There's always going to be human error in that.
So
And if we're looking at the volume of cards versus issues that you hear out there, that's probably why you're hearing about them, is just the total volume of cards. So
yeah.
there's probably percentage-wise might be similar.
So really, it is down to. I mean, ironically, I think I don't know if it was one of you guys who said it to me, but if PSA had an office in New Zealand, I'd use PSA because I like the slabs. Simple as that. Like I like the slab to be as, I guess, slimline and as tight fit into the card. Anything bulky, I don't quite like. I've never been a fan of the Beckett ones. But I found that PCG is quite fairly similar to the PSA. But I think, yeah, like the irony for me is that, yeah, I'd use PSA purely for the slab. But then that's the beauty of my perspective, is that as I go on and we start doing more shows, or I might start moving more cards, then that might sort of become more of a factor in my decision making. But I quite like, from my PC point of view, I love the PCG slabs.
And that's, grading for your PC, it's kind of a good way to go. It's what you like to see your cards in.
Yeah.
Can you get them all the same? Is it affordable? All those things. For a PC, if you're doing, let's just say you're doing a Prism Rainbow, grading all of those with PCG, you could actually do relatively affordably. But if you tried to do that from here with any of the internationals, you're just adding a massive cost to your collection. Personally, I've never seen a card off to be graded. I've kind of always just bought them graded,
Yeah.
and not too many of them. Label wise and that kind of eye appeal, I do like tag, and I like the black label from Beckett. Personally, I don't particularly like the PSA label. It doesn't. Although the PSA grade adds value to the card, the label's pretty basic, with its little white with its red outline. But everyone's got their own opinion on, I guess, on what they or what's perceived in the way a card looks once it's within the case. And for as Brock mentioned, return on investment, go with PSA. Just now you have to pay $280 a card to get it done, so you definitely think twice about it.
Yeah, I think, like, I went through a process probably about 3 months ago, maybe 2, about what am I going to do with my PC, and I really looked at tag. That was my preferred option. But when I looked into it harder, they only go up to 50-point cards. They don't do acetate cards, and I've got stuff like, this. I don't know if you can see it, but that's a pretty substantial card that I want to have in a slab. They don't do those, so it just. And then you look at return on investment was next, and so PSA is just what I went with. But
personally, I reckon everyone just one touches and KCC stickers. It'll do it.
I do like the new stickers though, Nick. They're very nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
It opens
Very
up
good.
a question though: is there a slab sticker out there? Is there something that you could put on your slab that'll look classy? But I don't know. KCC on it.
You can get some custom. What's those like the like the bumpers you put the slab in?
Oh
You
yeah.
can get some custom KCC. It's like slab. What do they call them? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Nick?
Maybe we'll try hits and rips first.
Yeah.
Get one of the other brands out there.
Yeah.
Could be a work-off.
HR, question for you. Just purely on eye appeal, what's your choice of slab? No other factor, just eye appeal.
I actually quite like the PSA ones just because they are quite simple.
Yeah.
I do like the tag ones as well, but yeah, I don't know. I've always liked the PSA ones. Just they're straightforward, pretty simple.
Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Ace grading slabs over in the UK, where they kind of like color code the label to the card itself?
Haven't seen the Ace ones, but there's a company that started, I know, around 21, I think HGA they were called. That you did a similar thing as well, where they did the color coded label to the card, and they did look good. I think it's like anything. It's kind of they just didn't get the volume of people using their business. So
Yeah.
found it hard to sort of grab their space in the market.
I picked up recently. I picked up from Top Play an Arena Club slab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was a Russell Wilson. I think it's the 49. Or something, yeah, 43 or 49. But I thought they're quite nice. I don't know much about them. I know they do these online sort of virtual slabbed rips, but in terms of their actual slab and the grading side of it, I'm not sure. I don't even know if they're still operating that side.
But
If you're going to crack it, man, make sure you got a towel under it because they shatter.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You cracked
Stuff goes everywhere.
Yeah. I think the slab's quite nice though. To be fair, it's quite sort of small, quite fairly slimline. And I think I was talking to Andy from Seaside Sports Cards that we have on sometimes, and he's done quite a few with Ace. The only concern, I think the label's really cool, but the slab to me looks quite bulky.
So I've just while we've been talking, I sort of looked up the Ace grading slabs a bit more, and I don't know, it might be a little controversial, but it kind of looks a little bit gimmicky with the kind of the labels, and it almost feels a bit TCG like just with the artwork that they start putting into the label. It starts, to me, it kind of feels a bit more geared to a TCG slab than a sports card slab in a way.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
People will disagree with that, and others will agree, but I don't know. It's just my take on it.
I think too, I did sort of bag the PSA slab, the label itself, the simpler tone of both. I think it's the same, where it's just one color. Yeah, it doesn't detract from the card itself. And yeah, the more color you add, the less your eye is on the card itself. I just had a quick look as well. They do get a bit busy, eh?
Yeah.
I think if I was to grade with Ace, I'd just want a plain label.
Yeah.
I think you can. I think it's actually extra if you have it color matched to the card. So I think you can by default have a fairly.
I can definitely see there'd be a lot of people that quite like that point of difference with the labels, but yeah, personally, it's not for me.
I think what you said, HR, hits the nail on the head. I think you probably find that when you're saying about PSA standing the test of time because it is simple. And I think Nick, with the eye, when you look at it, you want the card to be the center of attention. And I think with the Ace, over a period of time, people will work that out. And I think it's like anything, isn't it? If PSA all of a sudden did offer a color match label, some people like me would probably go, "Oh, I'll have a bit of that," and you might get a couple. And then after a period of time, the novelty of that wears off, and then you want to go back to the sort of standardized, simple label that kind of keeps the card at the center point or the center of focus. But yeah, PSA slabs are definitely my favorite. But yeah, big fan of the PCG ones, like them. So
the PCG be at the show this weekend? Are they coming?
They are, yeah. I think they are on the left as you walk in. I think they've got a table there. So I think I've not seen any marketing around sort of discounts or submissions with them. So that's something I need to look at because I might leave a few cards. But I think they're definitely there. Should be quite good.
You'd have your own discount code, wouldn't you, BC?
Oh yeah. I
keep tagging
them on the post, but they never come back to me. I've asked them for a tour of the factory. I wanted to make a bit of content and see if they'd take me in because when I YouTubed them, I don't know if it was their old office because I think they had a different office originally, but they had a guy who was doing some content and they took him round and showed him the process and stuff like that. So I had emailed them a couple of times to see if we could go up there but yeah, I'm getting blanked.
Just get in their ear next weekend.
Yeah. Might have to move to PSA. What's your thoughts, gents, then on with the, I guess, do you guys know how that's going to affect you, Brock and HR? Because you guys are doing a lot of submissions of PSA, aren't you, from here? But do you know how the pause is affecting you guys at the minute and what your thoughts?
it's just timing
Just
now
pausing.
for me. Yeah, like if I had stuff here that warranted sending it for the higher grading costs, then I'd send it still. But
Yeah.
I was sort of planning on doing a bit more of a monthly or every second month, just rolling a few cards out. But yeah, now just pause, and when it picks
Just
back
hold
up,
off.
I'll hopefully be able to just roll back into it. Both, I'm grading cards for my PC as well as grading cards to just sort of have here for resale and trade and all that sort of stuff.
So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty chilled.
Yeah,
I
just
think I've got one card that I'm going to submit, but other than that, wait.
I guess my hope with the pause is that it actually, in the long term, it helps things rather than just creates a big rush when it starts back up. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think they're yeah, I think it's kind of one of the points that got me, sort of questioning the grading side of it, because they're talking about recruiting people, and then I started thinking about, I guess, the raw point of, you're going to bring people in, you're going to train them to grade, and then obviously that's sort of in my head. It's like pondering, well, if you're bringing someone in, you're going to train them to grade. In theory, any company can bring someone in and teach them to grade, but I guess, like you're saying with the TCG side of it, that's obviously natural expansion, isn't it? And some of the figures that they're getting daily, the numbers that they're getting is insane, isn't it? It's mad.
When you look at the stats, you can see why they're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, 100%.
And you imagine that volume going into another company too. That you'd have to have the systems and all that sort of stuff to deal with that volume too.
I was listening to some guys on a podcast the other day talking about, the potential of them separating the business. You have a TCG side that's dedicated to that, then a sports card. But I think they said a similar thing to you, Nick, is that the sports card side of it is so small in
Mm.
comparison
I
to
think
the TCG side. And
I
what
mean,
they're getting.
to me, a card's a card, yeah. So you kind of your grading standards are your grading standards, regardless of
Yep.
where it's coming. When you get to vintage, it's a little bit different, yeah. But if you look at modern cards, you got to set a standards that you work to. I think the biggest challenge they're going to have is getting people and getting them up to speed, getting them to understand the processes, having confidence, and being able to get that, a consistency across their grades. It's like any new starter. When do you unleash them on their own within a business as you're trying to scale? But yeah, I think like Brock and HR mentioned that you kind of from here, you've really got to look and go, the value of the card is going to determine whether I'm going to send this off when you go generally going through sort of bulk submitters as well. So is it Card Hub? Their latest price list come out. I mentioned like 280 a card. If you got the Yamal Prism manga, you're definitely still going to send that off. You're not going to think twice about it. But you're going to think twice about a kind of a vet downtown as an example. Is it, that yeah, it's got to, for that price, it's got to add value.
Yep,
definitely.
Yeah, the soccer cards are growing over here now, aren't they? I see more and more popping up and more groups and stuff like that. And I think especially with the World Cup as well, there's going to be a massive spike. Oh yeah, seeing so many breaks at the minute with the soccer stuff.
Yeah, a lot. Some big cards being pulled too, which is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Kaboom the other day.
Yes, Blunt Najesh pulled a
Ronaldo,
Kaboom.
Yeah. That's colossal, that, isn't it?
And
feels like every day.
Crazy have got their bounty out as well.
Yeah.
If you're buying from their World Cup blasters, so definitely a lot of hype around soccer. Yeah. World Cup starting. The All Whites didn't do too badly this morning.
It did all right.
There's been some really nice autos pulled as well from that soccer football stuff.
Yeah, there was.
Did someone get a Messi autograph recently?
Yep.
That was Blunt as well, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to add some soccer, Nick, to KCC.
Joe, he loves soccer. Get him to do it.
Get into do something.
While it's not my, it's not really my cup of tea. It's quite cool seeing some different stuff getting opened and seeing a bit of variety around the place as well.
Yeah.
Joe was talking about it during the week. But so you think it's about getting the product here, so get your hands on product, and whether we've got the right people in the community or not, or in our group already. If we haven't, having to go find them. But yeah, big couple of weeks, or what is it, 6 weeks, the tournament. For I want to call it football, god damn it. I'll keep trying to call it soccer. But yeah, it's only going to lift the profile of the game.
Yeah.
Really only saying football for BC's reference, though, to be fair.
I hate calling it soccer. I'll use NFL, I think. But then Donald Trump said that, didn't he? He said that NFL football, soccer's football, and NFL should be called something else. It's about the only thing I agree with. But I think it starts next week, doesn't it? But I think the more the deeper New Zealand go, maybe people get more excited, I guess. But more Ronaldo, I guess. But I think that's definitely gonna sort of keep going in that upward direction, isn't it? You see more and more people putting listings on groups and stuff like that. So I think that's only good for the car community as well. But
yeah, it's good little gap filler as well, because when it's not the NFL season.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to the hype of the season starting to kind of lift the profile of the game and getting a few more people back into cards itself. But always had this little bit of a lull.
And Nick, you're probably a good one to ask because the new season coming out. Do you know when any of the new product will come out? Or
I think there's still, so we got Signature. There's still Cosmic and Top Chrome's Black. Top's Chrome Black to come. I think there's another 3 releases after this one before the 2026 product. So I'd say based on every couple of weeks, it'll probably the first cards for 2026 will be pretty close to the season start.
Nick, what does the next few weeks, months look like for KCC in terms of breaks and products and what's happening?
Great question. So still running through 2025. As mentioned, I got a couple of cases lined up for the show, so we can chase some case hits just of retail products, Donruss and Optic. So I can't remember Signature Class or Signature Series. That's out Friday. So those, it was out last Friday. So that product's just in Auckland at the moment. Hopefully be with me tomorrow. Then we've got Topps Chrome Cosmic and Topps Chrome Black are the next 2 products after that. They'll just have hobby offerings, so no retail behind it. So I'm thinking about doing another box of Select, but I don't know about the last one. After the last one, it was pretty average and the fill was long. So, but there's still 20, 25 Panini product around. But we'll keep rolling with that. From
good.
NBA perspective, got hoops, Signature as well. WWE, we've got Cosmics on the way, so that should hit us by the end of the week, hopefully. Be in Auckland. I don't know if it'll be here in time for the show or not, but yeah, just keep rolling with the Topps release calendar and grabbing what product we can.
Do you know? I sent a picture on the group of I think it was from the Cosmic product, the Constellation insert, was it? Constellation? That
Yep.
Absolutely stunning. That is. That in itself could spark my interest in Topps. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that is one hell of an insert.
Yeah, there's a nice cards. Looking forward to that. Not quite sure how we'll be getting on with quantity wise, but trying to get as much as possible.
I'm looking forward to that. PCs then. So Nick, it's been a while since you've been on. Brock, yourself, and HR's debut. Finally managed to get you on the podcast, which I'm chuffed about. When I got that message, when I got this message this afternoon, I need to spat my tea out. He's available.
It
Let's
was a
make this-
surprise. I was expecting there was just 3 of us to start with, and so yeah, logging on CNH Early was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
good.
You got the wife to thank for convincing me to jump on.
Yeah. He'll be on all the time now. Now he's done the first one and that, got, first show nerves. But on the spot then, HR, because we haven't had you on before, I'm sure our listeners would love to know a little bit about your PC, what you're collecting. Have we had any decent mail days recently? I've seen some stunning pictures on the Instagram. Top quality stuff.
Yeah, so I guess my PCs, I've tried to sort of, I started off with a clear focus of just when I jumped into the breaks and actually committing to collectors and cards, I sort of had a focus on Malik Neighbours and Marvin Harrison Jr., which that's still a trend for me and still stuff I'm working on. But I don't know, I'm a bit loose with it. I like to collect cool cards and good players and players I like and that sort of stuff. But yeah, the big focus for me is Neighbours and MHJ. Haven't had a lot of stuff come in recently for the collection. Just with a bit more focus for Wellington and trying to push things there a wee bit.
What's your I guess it's a question for all of you, but what are you boys planning on getting out and doing a bit of shopping while you're at the card show as well?
Yeah, I'll have a poke around and see what's sort of floating around. There might be a sneaky wee card there to put in the collection.
Yeah, nice.
I don't
Rhino
think
out
I
with the
have
list.
to.
Oh,
Sorry. You got that?
Okay, bro.
I was just going to say we'll send Rhino out with a list and a credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll come back
I
with
think
the stuff for himself.
You will too.
Yeah, they're Christian Cullen cards on my list of must gets. So we're trying to get a copy of that. And other than that, I don't think I actually need to move too far because I know what HR's got in his box. So I probably spend my lot without moving 2 meters. Yeah, we'll see how the day goes.
Brock, has Rhino got a budget?
He's trying to peddle his kids' packs.
Yeah.
To try and come up with his budget, but he has been saving a bit of money. So
Has he?
Yeah.
What's he looking out for?
Well, he's got his pretty clear focus of his PC now, which is just Chiefs cards and Tyreek Hill. Really,
Nice.
it's kind of what he likes collecting. So see what he can jag. I think
maybe we could send Rhino out on the sorting out the deal for that Saquon downtown.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he'd be happy to do that, I'd say.
Well, that lad's going to come over to the table as well while we're there, so that'll be good.
Yeah, have a chat.
Good chat with him as well. Yeah, but that's a hell of a card to pull, isn't it? He's I think he's
awesome.
he's 11 years old. Got it from a blaster at Top Play.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Blaster too.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. And that's up there, isn't it? With the downtowns, that picture. It's
yeah, it's iconic, eh?
Yeah, it's a phenomenal one. Yeah, so it's a good feeling.
It's right up there with the OBJ one-hander.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah, definitely.
That.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Nick, of sort of a bit of announcement, I think, for Cooman Curry Sports Cards and Kiwi Card Collective. We've me and Mark have been talking about recently on the podcast, and that we had some big news come in, and I think today's, with our all New Zealand show, having you on as well is a good time to kind of announce it. But we've, I guess, like partnership, bit of sponsorship for us, where you guys are going to sort of sponsor us and promote the show through your Kiwi Card Collective pages. I think for us, obviously, massive, huge thank you as well. And, Mark and I want to thanks for the support as well that you've been on. It's so good. It's good that people actually listen to us for a start, which is still surprises me, to be honest. But yeah, like we've been growing, but like your support's been phenomenal, and to have you kind of associated to what we're doing and a kind of a shared interest in growing a hobby is amazing for us. So, massive thank you from us. But yeah, so not kind of nice to announce that that partnership and the sponsorship from you guys, which we really appreciate.
Yeah, it's been a little while coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, really excited by it. Is kind of being able to, get it not just getting on the breaks, but also getting on the podcast, sharing our stories. Growing both Cuban Curry and also KCC. Primarily New Zealand, but this gives us an outlet to get out to the world. So you're looking forward to sort of growing that partnership, getting a lot more involved in the community in New Zealand. Exciting times.
Yeah, it's funny because like I talk to you guys a lot on messages and stuff like that, and when I got you on, like I think me and Mott have kind of grown into the podcast. I remember that first episode. It does sound awful. I've listened to it a few times, and hopefully now we kind of come out of our shells. But then when I had you guys on, I think like 10 minutes before you're due to come on, I felt nervous because the hosting side of it is now sort of moved over to Mark quite a lot, and of course, he Mark's not on the show today. I was like, I've got to host it, and I started to feel real nervous, But having you guys on and just, it doesn't always look. We don't always sound polished and stuff like that, but for us, it's just a platform to talk to everyone in the community and stuff like that. And like I said, a minute ago, getting HR on, it's a milestone. That is absolute milestone for the show. I wanted to get you on for a while. It's like everyone, there's lots of well-known people who are contributing in the messages, and the goal is just to get everyone on and have those conversations and find out what people are doing, what they're collecting. And I love having conversations around, how people display things and people's different views. And, even the slabs, like I've had a conversation with Nick Blinko, who everyone knows, and Nick doesn't like to put stickers on his one touches and stuff like that. And I love conversations like that because for me, I don't like seeing the gold magnet. So I love those little, those differences in how people collect and what drives them and what they're looking for and all that type of thing. So yeah, we love doing the podcast. So again, thanks so much for your support. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, thanks for letting me be involved in it. And yeah, at some stage soon we'll have to organise an actual all-in studio event rather than being at opposite ends of the country or spread over the country. So the more of these kind of card events we can do together, these are sorts of things that we'll be able to do.
Yeah, definitely. We'll try and do some
just have to hide the beers.
Yeah, that's it. We're keen to do some content at the show, but my original plan was to do a podcast on the show, but even doing the card market, I was like, that's never going to happen. Like, it's just going to be too busy. But like, we'll try and have some chats and put something together. Yeah, definitely. But who knows? In the future, we might have an actual studio.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to look after the CNC part, so you can get out and roam the floor with your roving mic. Anyway,
yeah, might have to do that. Yeah, could be an option. Send Rhino out with the mic.
Oh man,
that could be a segment.
What'll come back? Yeah,
that could be a good segment. Yeah. Might have to do some heavy editing, but
yeah,
that'll be interesting, wouldn't it? Just send him around different tables, and
that'd be quite funny.
Yeah, that'll be good. Boys, has anyone got any codswallop for our codswallop? Anything that's
codswallop?
Yeah.
Don't know. It's late on a Sunday.
Yeah. That's an impromptu question, is it? I didn't put it on the agenda, but I thought I'll just ask him. I think I
knew it was coming though.
Last show, but nah, nothing.
Nothing. I'm sure there'll be some codswallop coming out of the weekend, no?
Oh, definitely.
There's something about clearly in my mind at the moment, but it's probably not right.
Is that a story that can be shared or not?
Oh, no.
No, there's plenty of stories, but just choose the platform.
That's it.
Yeah.
The story for another time.
Yeah.
All right, gents. Well, look, from my point of view, again, thanks for coming on. Has anyone got? We'll go AOB. Anything they want to have a chat about, or
I thought I'd show off. We never really spoke about kind of mail days. Haven't really had much just because everything's going into the show at the moment.
Yeah.
I do actually have everyone else's mail days behind me that I should really be packing out instead of sitting here talking all night. But yeah, a couple of recent pickups from today's rip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a couple of nice little Pokemon. The Mega Fluet and no shortage of frogs in the latest product as well. So a couple of Froakies. Those all end up on the table.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually lied before as well. I did have a nice card come in just recently. Which going to the table as well with this nice wee. Is that going to come through?
After me,
There we
that's
go.
it. Yeah.
It's a nice wee Jalen Hurts rookie
nice.
patch.
Oh,
So-
that turned up.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so that'll be a good one to put on the table. A few other wee bits and bobs here, but yeah, it's one of the nicer ones that come in, and yeah,
Is that a
hopefully.
local pickup?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Came via Nash actually.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and hopefully customs do their job, and I'll have some more stuff arriving this week.
You
Yeah.
didn't get those AJ Browns that went up earlier in the week?
I saw those. No, I didn't. I quite like that. What was that? That was the stuff out of Black Football, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
regulators and the White Knight, I think it is. I can't remember
Yeah.
what they're called.
And I think there was a Vanta there as well. I really like the short prints out of that product.
Yeah, ever since I got that Vanta Cooper Cup, it's definitely quite nice there.
Yeah.
The only thing I had was, I don't know if you can see that, but
Oh, yeah.
my thing come back from grading, which is, man, that's such a nice card, these Uptowns this year. Can't really see it, but
Yeah, the Uptowns. I think the Uptowns are. I put a recent post out tonight about we've chatted a lot, haven't we, about the downtowns and I even questioned my JSN, but I've got a Russell Wilson one that's going to be on the table because I actually chatted to Rock and HR about it before I bought it when I saw it on the sale, and I was like, I'm not sure about it, and I said I'll get it in hand because sometimes you feel different, but I've had it on the display for quite a while and it just doesn't do it for me as a card. But when I've seen this year's Uptowns, I've got the Jalen Milroy one down here, and for me, I've knocked the whole lot over now. But for me, this is just an unbelievable card. It's got
nice.
got some nice art as well. Like you got the market, you got the Space Needle, and obviously the rain, which is synonymous with Seattle. And I just think it's so nice. I prefer that to probably to both downtowns that I've got. But I think it's such a nice card.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day if I've had my PC things for myself, and I've just been so busy focusing on the show, I had to think of it. And usually it's not that hard. So
Yeah. Oh, fingers
been-
crossed. We all get a little something for the collection this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll rustle something up. I've been enjoying the change though, and sort of focusing more on picking things up other people might like, and yeah, it's been a good experience, and yeah, definitely something I want to keep chipping away at. So
What I found interesting is, like every now and again you put up a sale on the Facebook groups and stuff like that, and that kind of supplements sort of going into breaks and buying other cards and stuff like that, and not having that because I'm trying to hold it for the show. It's been quite challenging, sort of tempted to do a few sales, but hopefully, like, we'll pick, like Nick said there, we'll pick stuff up, but, make some nice sales, get some decent cards into the hands of other collectors and stuff like that, which is going to be a good opportunity. And for me, the highlight is definitely going to be the faces, the names and stuff like that. And then just going out for the first time as vendors and people knowing that we're doing the shows and stuff like that. Yeah, just can't wait. Looking forward to it.
I sort of asked a couple of people, Nick being one, and Najesh probably another one, just a couple of tips around preparing and stuff. And no one prepared me for when you put a post out that everybody wants to buy cars pre the show. So getting all these messages about pre-show cards, but yeah.
It's a tough one, but it's pretty easy to have a sale afterwards because everything's there. It's all priced up, all freshly comped. You can just take your photos, bang them up. So yeah, there'll be a bit of an avalanche of post show sales across all the pages with all the different vendors.
It'll be and then sort of getting the inventory up again for the next shows as well. So we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it. We've got our cases now as well. I think we've all got a new display case as well. So looking forward to that.
We've committed.
Yeah,
well, it's definitely committed.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be good. But that was another thing, like when I did the card market that I found quite interesting. This has nothing to do with anyone, the guys coming in, but I found it quite hard to multitask. I'm talking to people, answering questions and stuff like that. And I got people going through the boxes and stuff. I felt like I needed to maybe, have stuff in the box so I could have a bit more control over what was going on. But that was a new experience for me. It was there was a lot going on. So I think having the case is going to be good. But it was nice to sort of practice the setup and things like that. So that was quite good.
Yeah, my biggest problem at the Hamilton one was math. It was just, for some reason, I just couldn't do it. Instead of, normally I price my boxes at like 40, at like 5s or 0s. So, 50 or 55. And for some reason I went through and did them all at 9s, so 99 and 49 and stuff like that. And it just, my brain just couldn't compute. I'm glad I had the girls with me to do the calculations.
But to bring a calculator.
Yeah.
I was chatting to Shane at Top Play Sports Cards, and he was saying, I don't know how you did this, but it's something I didn't really think to consider. But he was saying about, I don't know what you call them over here, but like a bum bag type thing to have all your cash in. They've got it on you as well. So, I don't know.
Little fanny pack.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I got halfway to the card market and realised I didn't have any cash and I didn't bring my wallet with me. So I went to a trade night with no money.
My first show was the same. I kind of, I stopped the money machine. I only had $20 notes at laundromats, the Saviour.
Oh yeah.
Cruising to a laundromat, pumped $100 into their change machine. It was good to go.
I'll tell you what, Brock, you could get a ton of change before and send Rhino out selling change to vendors. Could be a good little business.
He'd be all about that.
Yeah.
Except they wouldn't get the right change. He'd come out on top, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just charge them a little transaction fee and then just top up their coins. Happy days. Right, gents, anything from anyone else before we wrap it up?
I think I'm good. I've just got a mountain of stuff here I need to start sorting.
That's it. The road to the show. Final straight now. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So you'll be flying up, Hamish?
Yeah, yep. Fly up out of Queenstown.
Nice.
Got to work out how to get a 4.0 single box up. I don't know how to do it. Got to keep the lid on.
So my strategy is I'm just going to bubble wrap mine and bang it in my check on.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Grab the wife's hard case suitcase and she'll be right.
Yeah. Happy days. Cool. All right.
Sweet.
Well, I appreciate all your time. It's been good. Enjoyed it.
Awesome to catch up and have a great week. And we'll this time next week we'll be enjoying a beer with our feet up after a successful show.
Hopefully, it's the plan.
That'll be good.
Cool. Yeah. And for all our punters and listeners out there, we'll see you in Wellington.
In
the morning.
One last thing from me, gents, is regards to your families.
And yours.
Hey, regards to yours. Or regards to everyone's.
Over and out.